Hi, my name is Trevor Tyson with Kbandstraining.com, and today we're going to dig into a basketball dynamic warm-up for you ladies out there. As we get into the warm-up, we're going to go through a bunch of dynamic full body movements to warm up the body before we get into some resisted reps to get your hip flexors as well as that lateral quickness engaged before we train. To begin the dynamic warm-up, go ahead and get a little bit of space about 8 to 10 yards apart. We're going to be working back and forth. The first exercise is going to be a lunge and twist. This is a great exercise to get your trunk loose as well as your hips reaching out as far as you can. Each individual lunge, keeping good form with your knee behind your toe. As you extend out in the lunge, you want to rotate over that front knee side and really slide to loosen up the trunk. As soon as you hit that line, you're going to be moving back into the reverse lunge and twist. This is going to give us a little bit more of a dynamic move that's going to challenge your balance as well as a stability factor as you kind of lean back towards that opposite heel. Keep the pace here through the dynamic warm-up, and you're going to move immediately now into the RDL. The RDL is great for keeping your hamstrings loose as well as getting a light stretch with movement. So you're going to walk step by step, dropping the chest, keeping a nice flat back, moving opposite and even. The leg will stay even with the upper body, plane out to a nice flat position, switch legs, and keep continuing to move to the 8 to 10 feet or yards, however much space you have during your warm-up. Now as we begin to warm the hammies, it's time to get into the groin a little bit. Now you're going to take a big step, slide to the left, slide to the right, and then all the way to the edge, and you're going to move directly back just to make sure that we've got both sides of the groin nice and loose. Let's focus a little bit more on your hips now with some wall swings. Head over and get yourself a nice base on the wall. Get your hands ready to really help stabilize your body. We're going to start being square to the wall, and you're going to work with a lateral swing, trying not to open the hips too much because we want to get that IT band stretch when we get across the front, as well as a little bit of a groin stretch coming out wide. So you're going to swing, working to keep those hips locked into the wall as it goes from side to side. As soon as you get done with that left leg or right, whichever one you start with, you're going to move in and do the exact same leg, but we're going to do it from a sideways stance. You're going to place that hand on the wall, and we're going to be kicking that foot up as high as we can in the front and then as far as we can in the back, all while trying not to break at the trunk. You want to try to maintain a nice tall position, so as we kick, we're going to let our glutes and our hamstrings loosen up without hiding that stretch in our core and not really stretching out the hammy as much as we might do if we stayed tall. So keep good posture and really work to get those legs high to loosen up the hips from both front to back and side to side. After you finish about 10 reps on each of the legs from both the side plane as well as the frontal plane, we're going to strap on the Kbands and start really turning on those movers, both laterally and linearly. The hurdler is going to be a great exercise for you to loosen up your hips as well as build a little bit of a strength if you're a beginner. It's important that you maintain proper form though. This is one of those exercises that if done incorrectly, it'll have little to no benefit. So make sure that you keep your feet underneath your knees as you rotate out and around. Now this will be both forwards and backwards, so you want to make sure that you're keeping that plane the whole way. You're going to open the hip when you're moving forwards, out and around, and put the foot down. And then as you're moving backwards, it's the same type of mechanics. You're going to lift up, open, up and down, right back into that home position. So we're getting a lot more mobility in our hips, which is going to help with our power as well as the explosiveness as we move on the court during competition. Now let's finish with a little more pace with the karaoke. Face the same direction, down and back, keeping that dominant front side all the way to the far side, and then on the way back, you want to use that other dominant leg driving the knee up, working the hip flexors, getting completely loose and ready to rock. And the final exercise is to get you ready for defense and moving laterally quickly. You want to do the glute walk. You're going to keep your feet wide, keep a nice low base, and you're going to walk slowly, little step by step, to really turn on all those muscles. For the complete workout breakdown, as well as ordering your own set of Kbands, head to Kbandstraining.com and get on the basketball section. We've got all kinds of drills there that are really going to help improve your game.